Welcome to the Practical Mystic Show, where we bring you simple tips and techniques from around the globe to help practical people deal with extraordinary experiences. And now, your favorite scientist, shaman, and sacred clown, and also the show's host, Janine Bolin.
Welcome to the Practical Mystic Show. I'm Janine Bolin. And today we're talking about mindful money and the 10 steps to abundance. Today's episode is how to go about making a price book for buying groceries. This is step 5 in the 10 steps to abundance. And by the way, don't worry about getting them in order. Just these steps are the 10 things or 10 exercises that you can do that will help move you out of debt and into a life of higher cash flow. Even if you don't have any debt, there are tips here that I'm sure you can use that will help you decrease your expenses while increasing the satisfaction that you have with your wife. The price book for buying groceries is a wonderful tool that I used that immediately and drastically decreased my family's burn rate when it came to groceries. I have a family of 6 and 4 children that are teenagers, and I can guarantee you that you're going to see a pronounced difference in your monthly expenses, specifically with your grocery bill, by using this tool, and then by any other means that I can recommend to you. What I'd like to recommend that you do is you build your price book from scratch, but it might require some really specialized, high-priced equipment. And what you're going to need is a 3-ring binder. And then you go out and you buy an A to Z index to put it in, and you get really frugal. You can make your own. But basically, you just want to have a 3-ring binder, 3-hole punch notebook paper, and a pen or pencil. There you go. That's what you're going to use for your price book. What you're going to do is create what is called a price book for buying groceries, and it was first came to me by Amy Decision. She was the first author that I had ever read that had described this system. And what you do is you invest 15 minutes a week to get this program up and running, and then you'll have a huge return on that time that is spent. Or as the frugal types that I know like to say, you achieve a very high hourly wage for your effort. Many people, when they're saving money, they see how much money they've saved, and it kind of gives them a boost on how much an hour they're saving. But the foundation of this program is that you sit down with your ring binder or your price book and you write down the most frequent items that you buy every week. And you put those at the top of, most of the time these people that do a price book have these items and the prices that they pay at the top of their head. Now, if you're like most of my clients that aren't what I call savvy shoppers, you may have no idea what you pay for these groceries on the top of your head. But I just want you to list off, if you buy milk every week or eggs or spinach or kale or whatever your lifestyle or diet demands, there are things that that are your staples that you have to buy every week. What I want you to do is on each sheet of paper, write that at the top right-hand corner of your paper what those things are. Now we're going to start talking about the structure. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your store advertising circulars, the things that come in the mail or the things you can get at the grocery store in the front. Either that or you can go online if you're more savvy technically and you like to look up your grocery store circulars that way. But most folks that get these circulars, they get them in the mail or they have a friend or a spouse pop by the store on the way home to pick up the week's circulars. What I want you to do is look over these circulars and put down the sale prices of the items that you buy every week. The most highly discounted items are what they call loss leaders. These are the items that are sold at cost or below so that they can lure you into the store. So those are called loss leaders. These are the best buys, and they're usually at the front of the store, and in the circulars, they're either the front page or the back page. That's usually where I see most of the discounted items. Now, as you're building your price book, it is because of this price book and using these things and talking to store managers that I heard and learned that our stores have milk on sale every 2 weeks is their sales cycle. So when I don't buy milk anymore, I bought a lot of milk when my children were quite young, but I use this as an example. You can use this with any items, whether it's dairy or staples or flour or anything like that. You will find that there are sales cycles where there is a drop in the price to lure you into the store, such as right before Easter in the Midwest. When I was keeping a price book in Ohio, I could tell that the week before Easter, there would be discounted items on eggs, and you could go in and get that. But the 2 days before Easter and the day of Easter, the prices got jacked up over the normal base price. So you start to learn sales cycles as you go about it. So I'm going to use the example that in milk, there was a 2-week cycle. I learned that there was a sales cycle for eggs, bread, bananas, and many of the other items that I could name. You have to take a few minutes each week. So when you plan your grocery shopping trip and you list out all these things with your price book, what I want you to do is over the next couple of weeks, you're going to go and buy groceries the way you normally do. But then after you've put all the groceries away and everything, sit down with your beverage of choice and sit down with your price book and look at the expenses on your receipt and figure out how much you're paying for the most basic items and slowly build your price book over time. What I end up finding out was that I was able to drop my prices that I was paying for food by 15% within the first 2 weeks because I started to learn the sales cycle, and I would buy groceries in bulk using this system. What happened over the course of 30 days was I had dropped our food bill by $150 the first month. By the second month, I had dropped our food bill by $300 a month. By the third month, $400 a month. I was getting better and better with the cycle. Now, what ended up happening was that I would get really low on certain months, but then once every 3 or 4 months, I would have what I called a $600 month or a $900 month where I would stock up on a bunch of supplies. The thing is that I'm trying to help you out with is one of the largest expenses a family has is in their grocery bill. That is after the mortgage payment, after the car payment, and after any medical bills you may have. The one item that you have a lot more control over is your groceries. And it's what we call disposable income. It fluctuates, and you have a little bit of control over it. Most of the other bills you have are pretty fixed. So when it comes to groceries, people have more control over that element. And so I like to help people with their grocery store bill because they can see almost immediate results. And the other beautiful thing about this system is you don't need to play around with coupons. Now, if you want to use coupons, you can. I mean, I'm not telling you not to. But when I see a lot of the people who make a really good use of coupons, they spend an inordinate amount of time, like that's almost their part-time job, is tracking down coupons and using coupons. Well, the stores that I'm around don't have double coupon days and stuff like that, like in the Midwest where I used to live. So that's why I had to alter my way of buying groceries and use this price book like I saw Amy Decision. Now, the thing that's nice about the price book is that you can use this system, and I think in the first year, I was able to save my family $3,500. And because I saved so much money, what I did was I ended up buying a brand new dishwasher for myself. So there was a reason for this. I knew that I had certain appliances I was going to need to start replacing, so I was really driven to save money on the grocery bill. Now, I would like to give a little warning here. When it comes to saving money on groceries, if you have a specific dietary need, please make sure you stay with that dietary need. I had a couple of college students and a couple of single people that became so fixated on saving money on groceries that they wouldn't buy food that was really in their best interest to buy because it was considered too expensive in their own mind. So please use a little common sense here. And if you know you only can eat a vegan lifestyle, then don't be checking out eggs and dairy products, right? I know many of you already know this, but I was surprised by a couple of my students. I have an online course called The 10 Steps to Abundance, and some of my students got on my Q&A sessions, and they were telling me about how, they had to not use certain aspects of the price book because of their dietary needs. I would like to assure you, no matter what lifestyle you are living, by using a price book, you will start to see things on sale that you've never seen on sale before. Just pay attention. It's a pattern of being mindful, right? Okay. Well, I look forward to you running around these different episodes as we go over the 10 steps to abundance. This was step 5. It was talking about how to make a price book for buying groceries. The next episode will be step 6. Examine your use of disposable products. See you in the next show.
This has been the Practical Mystic Show with Janine Bolin. For show notes, resources, and more, visit the8gates.com. Thanks for listening.